Way down below, a garden waiteth still, a burdened virgin soil, a wounded bloody hill. Way down below, my brothers lie slain, their bodies giving life to spores which rise again. Eonara remembers, my Mycelium remains. Way down below, a thousand spirits play between stirring mildew, breathing life and decay. Way down below, we mourn not very long. The echoes of the lost join in the fungal song. Eonara remembers, mycelium remain. Eonara remembers,
mycelium remains.
Deep beneath the crust of the earth, in a small cave, black as night aside from the faint blue light emanating from bioluminescent mushrooms lining the cave floor and beginning to creep up the stony walls, kneel two figures, eyes closed. One of them, an elderly deep gnome with white hair tied in braids behind her back, is motionless, almost reverent, as if in prayer. The other, a much smaller, younger deep gnome, can't seem to sit still, and keeps finding different parts of her clothes to pick at. The two have been here for the past hour and a half, kneeling just like this. Finally, the young deep gnome breaks.
When did they start talking, Grandma?
Oh, they are already speaking, Gnascor. If you would only sit still and listen.
I am listening! Maybe they need to talk louder if they want me to hear them.
Suddenly, the reverent quiet is broken by the sounds of laughter, growing in volume as two deep gnome children rush into the cave. Elikir Selenite sighs once more before extending her hand. Her granddaughter, Gnascor Selenite, eagerly stands and assists the older woman to her feet. "Grandma! Cor!" one of the children excitedly calls, his voice reverberating on the cave's walls. "We found a lizard! Look at it!" As the children approach the pair standing amongst the mushrooms, the boy opens his cupped hands to reveal a small lizard with green scales coating its body. Sensing freedom, it leaps from the boy's hands and has disappeared into the mushroom field before the boy has a chance to react. "Drell!" his sister shouts, fists clenched at her sides. "I told you to keep it safe! Now we'll never find it. I should have never let you hold it." "It's not my fault he decided to jump out." Drell huffs back, face bathed in the cool glow of the mushrooms. "Would have done the same with you anyways." Grandmother Selenite peers down at the gnomish children, her expression sharp and flat. Her response is firm and pointed. "Drell? Anwar? I have told you that you are not to interrupt Gnascor and I. You children have no right to be here. Go home." All energy and momentum the children carried around them is gone in an instant. Drell seems to wince as if the words stung him, while Anwar's eyes turn to you. She looks furious.
I take Anwar's arm and I look back at my grandma just to get, silent permission from her. "I'll walk you to the mouth."
Grandmother Selenite looks at you with a gaze equal yet opposite to the one Anwar gave. Cold, icy, and abrasive. "Quickly, then."
I nod. As we walk, I lean in and whisper to Anwar, "The mushrooms spoke to me. Do you want to know what they said?"
Anwar's glare lightens as the two of you walk together, although you see the embers of a cooling fire deep within her eyes. You did? Yeah, what'd they say?
I lean in even closer. They said that Drell smells like rat poop.
Your sister's glare breaks down completely and she can't help but laugh. Hey, I do not! Drell whines from behind you, causing you and Anwar to laugh even harder as you reach the mouth of the cave.
You do! The mushrooms told me! They don't lie, Drell, I'm sorry.
The cave exited into a large open area with the familiar sights of Morel in view. Mushrooms the size of small houses line cobblestone paths, with even larger mushrooms shedding warm light down onto the village below. Stalactites hang from the ceiling, some of them holding smaller bioluminescent mushrooms themselves. Deep gnomes can be seen entering and exiting the house-sized mushrooms, carved away with small but cozy interiors. 3 of you stand at the cave's exit into Morel. The cave isn't at ground level compared to Morel. It's about 20 feet higher with a steep path into the village proper. The village itself is about 500 feet away, far enough that the sounds of the bustling village folk are drowned out. Can't you come with us? Anwar asks you. We might try to find another lizard. And this time I'll hold it. She sticks her tongue out at Drell, who rolls his eyes.
I kind of hesitate and look back into the cave, and then I shake my head. Not yet. I'll be home for dinner, okay? Tell Mama to save me a place. I give her a hug. I bet soon I won't even need to train anymore. I'll be just like Grandma, and then the mushrooms will tell me secrets too. Real secrets. And I'll tell them to you, and we'll be smarter than everybody else. Don't let Drell eat my dessert this time. Grandma's cookies are gross.
With a smile from Anwar and an eye roll from Drell, you part ways with your siblings, turning back towards the faint blue glow bleeding out from the mouth of the cave. I'm saying she shouldn't be around that witch in the first place, let alone every waking hour. Anwar's fist pounds against the table, blazing eyes mirroring her short dyed red hair. She's no longer a child, appearing to be in her late teens. Anwar, know your place! You've made your feelings about your grandmother more than obvious. I will not have you calling her a witch in this house. Mother Selenite's exasperation is blatant in her tone. Next to her sits Father Selenite, arms crossed, glazed eyes steady on untouched food in front of him. His son, Drell Selenite, now nearing his 30s, sits in the same fashion, aside from his eyes being closed and his body rocking suddenly forward and back in his seat. Then why don't I leave this house and bring your daughter home to her family for once? Anwar stands, pushing her seat away from the table. With half a dozen angry steps, she has crossed through the entryway, slamming the makeshift wooden door and causing a shiver to spread across the spongy stem of the Selenite's giant mushroom home. A small strip of wood falls from the door, damaged over time from similar episodes. Mother Selenite sighs, a breath composed of frustration and sadness mixed together. Father Selenite's eyes remain glazed. Drell stands, pauses for a moment, and goes to sit on his bedroll, eyeing an empty sack next to him. The young Selenite's stormy steps slow as her anger fades, giving way to the hurt beneath. Blinking up at the glowing mushrooms towering above the village of Morel, which refract into tiny crystals in her watering eyes. Swallowing tightly, she makes her way between fungal houses, avoiding the cobbled streets, lest someone stop her, force her to speak, make her lose the composure she keeps hanging on a string. Even through repressed tears, Anwar easily navigates towards the old cave where her sister waits, as if she has traveled this route 1,000 times before. The shroom lights slowly dim as she gains distance from the small village and begins the ascension up the steep slope leading to the blue-lit cave. It is the thick, thorny vines soon across the cave's mouth which finally break her. Eyes welling and flowing, Anwar falls to her knees in front of her insurmountable foe, the living wall which has kept her from her sister for the past 2 years. Her scream is more of a sob than a roar, and her heart burns against the woman who raised this thorny enemy. Grandmother Selenite smiles warmly as you hand her a cup of water, fresh from the sliver of liquid running down a corner of the cave wall which has sustained you and your grandmother for the past 2 years. Berries and fruits of varying colors and shapes line the moss covering much of the wall near the small stream. Long gone are the days of childhood chubby cheeks and a round tummy. Your figure is slim and wiry, and your mind long since steeled to the creeping hunger in your gut. Grandmother Selenite has taught you well how to make do with the little the two of you have shared. She too has lost weight, although her body is not taking the change in diet as well as yours. Her centuries-old bones are starkly visible beneath her aging skin, and her white, thin hair is fraying at the end. The older woman sips from the cup, fingers trembling slightly.
Remember, Gnascor, water brings life to all living things. The druid learns to harness life itself.
With a flick of her wrist, a small sphere of water appears over the glowing mushrooms, then bursts as if popped, splashing onto the fungus.
Now you try. You nearly got it yesterday. Focus on the life around you. Weave it. Focus it.
Roll a d20 plus your wisdom modifier.
21.
21, okay. You cast a very nice sphere, similar to the one that your grandmother cast, and then it pops over the mushrooms, giving them more water. Grandmother Selenite beams at you.
I'm so proud of all that you've learned about the ways of the druid, about the mushrooms and the plants around you, about life.
She takes hold of your hands. You feel how light her hands are, and the constant tremor inside them. Although the training was her idea, the years have not been kind to her. You know, not only as her granddaughter, but also as a blossoming druid, that Grandmother Selenite's time ran short. As if sensing your thoughts, she continues, gazing into your eyes with an expression both weary and warm.
When my time comes, I will die, knowing my legacy lives on in you, precious one.
I just kind of smile at her and go to rest my head on her shoulder.
Then you hear a wail. Your sister. She must be outside the vine wall. Grandmother's gaze quickly sharpens. This is not the first time you have been interrupted by such a cry. You remember back to the start of this voluntary exile, when you and Anwar would sit near the wall late at night, whispering the day's stories to each other, giggling together in hushed tones. Over time, the late-night conversations slowed, and though the two of you never grew distant, the time spent apart is still soul-crushing. You snap back to the present, with Grandmother's eyes still fixed on you, as if waiting to see what you will do.
I look between my grandmother and the wall and just very softly kind of look into my grandmother's eyes. Maybe it's time.
This, too, has happened before. Grandmother's expression softens as she sees the pain in your eyes.
Come now, little one. You have learned so much already. A few more years of honing your abilities. You could face the world as a true druid, end the rot. Come, sit now, let me...
You always tell me that a druid's purpose is to understand the life that surrounds us, to care for it. But you forget that there's life out there, too. There's more to life than just mushrooms and moss. I want my sister. I'm going home.
As you speak, Grandmother Selenite's expression shifts to one you do not remember seeing before. You've seen your grandmother's sharp eyes before, her cold face and her fiery Selenite eyes. You've seen her pity, her empathy for you when you have struggled to learn a new spell or when you cried about missing your family. You have seen her love for you, her adoration of not only your successes but of who you are. But this expression is new to you. This expression is one of pain intertwined with a slowly dawning realization, as if her worst nightmare has just played out before her eyes. You watch as something invisible breaks inside your grandmother. Her hands drop from yours, and with it, the wall of thorns recedes, swallowed up into the stone. A week passes. Your mom and dad welcome you home with open arms. They both cry over you and shower you with affection, asking what you learned in your training. Anwar is a bundle of excitement, keeping you busy most days by bringing you to see shopkeepers and family friends, all of whom have plenty of new stories to share with you. She takes you to a ledge she discovered about a mile away from Morel, with a beautiful view of the village, the giant shroom lights shedding their glow onto the smaller mushroom houses. It looks like the village is glowing. Despite your joy about being home once again, however, your heart is heavy in your chest. Grandmother Selenite does not come to visit the home, nor do you visit her. You are almost afraid to see her, afraid to see those broken eyes again. You've not seen your brother, Drell. His belongings are gone from the home. Your mother says he went on a journey. Anwar refuses to speak on the matter, stating only that he was weary of a broken family and directing your attention to brighter topics. It is a full month after the end of your training before you venture to visit your grandmother. Although you had been with her daily in the cave, grandmother had always been a recluse for as long as you'd known her. During your childhood, you had not seen her often. Sometimes you would overhear whispers from the villagers about her. They would refer to her as the crazy old crone or the Selenite hermit. They saw her as a traitor to her family, a woman who loved plants more than people. You saw her differently, though. Saw through her peculiarities to find the love beneath. You viewed her not as crazy, but dedicated to her studies and observations of nature, especially to the supposed plague she referred to as the rot. You had seen her detailed notebooks and documents, her sketches of the flora of Morel, had heard her songs about the history of the homeland she adored. It was your love for your grandmother and her respect for her knowledge that led you to agree to years of dedicated druidic training, and it is your love and respect for her that now brings you back to the mouth of the blue-lit cave. The faint blue glow, however, is gone. Your heart skips a beat as you peer into the darkness of the cave you have called home for the past 2 years. Your mind races as you ponder your next actions.
Grandma?
You take one step forward, blink, then rub your eyes, trying to adjust to the darkness. Although some distance from the village, you're not so far from the shroom lights that you should be so blinded by the dark, despite your particular disability. Regardless, try as you might, you can make out nothing inside the cave.
I step inside and call for her again.
You hear nothing in return. Your heart pounds in your chest, almost deafening amidst the silence of the cave. Hands in front of you, completely blind, despite the faint glow of Morel behind you, you slowly proceed into the cave one step at a time. Step. 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 Your foot brushes against something. A mushroom? You slowly drop to one knee, expecting the familiar sensation of mushrooms brushing your leg, but instead feeling and hearing something crisp. A snap. You reach down slowly with your hand and feel along the ground. Fingers connecting with something dry and bumpy with a rough texture. Rubbing your fingers along it, you feel small edges, creases. It feels almost like the gills underneath the caps of the blue mushrooms, but this is wrong. This is unnatural. They should be soft, thin, light as air. Your heart beats louder.
I'd like to try and cast Fairy Fire.
Okay. Again, since this is an origin episode, instead of doing the regular spellcast, I'm going to have you do a d20 plus wisdom.
Sure. Oh. That didn't like at all. Another 21.
Wow, roll them up. Okay, you cast a Fairy Fire, a spell that you have practiced a few times. This is one of your better casts of this spell. And as far as you can tell, nothing happens.
I'm getting more panicked as I continue to call out for her. Is anybody in here? Grandma?
Crawling now, each movement causing a crunch of mushrooms underneath. You blunder onwards. After a few moments, your hand meets solid ground silently. You must have reached the edge of the patch of mushrooms. You scurry forward, desperate to stop the crunching of the mushrooms. All wrong, all wrong. Leather. Your hand touches it, grasps it, feels the paper between it, a notebook of grandmother's. You keep a hold of it with one hand and continue crawling, calling for your grandmother, voice sounding hollow and far away over the sound of your heartbeat. Then, a new texture. You get a fistful of something wiry, soft, light, like string or yarn or hair. You scream, stomach churning, heart pounding, head spinning. Grandmother is dead. You stand, looking for Morel's light at the end of the cave. Darkness blinds you. Tears obstruct your vision, scattering the light at the edge of the all-consuming darkness into 1,000 tiny pieces. You can't find it. You reach, stumble, hit a wall again. You lurch forward, but another wall blocks your path. It feels like the walls are closing in. You'll be stuck here forever with no vine wall this time, alone with the darkness and your shattered memories. You can't breathe. You're dying. You're dying. A voice. Brighter than Morel's shroom lights, and clearer than cold water, cascades through your ears and into your soul, grasping the pieces of you. Core! Anwar has found you.
She called it the rot. I don't know very much about it. She didn't write very much, anything detailed, but I think that's what happened in the cave. That darkness. Everything was wrong. I'm scared. If it...
Do you think
What was...
this rot killed Grandma?
I don't know what it does exactly. She doesn't say much in her journal about it, except that it causes this darkness. Something with the plants. When they are diseased or sick. But I don't know. I don't know if it's magical or if it killed her or if...
It has to be something magical, right? I mean, we sent that party in when they got her body for the funeral, and they went in with torches, and there was even a druid there with a light spell, and there was nothing. We couldn't see through it.
I don't know. But that's why I have to go. I need to figure out what it is, if we can stop it, if we can fix it. What if it spreads? What if it continues to grow? What if it happens again?
Whoa. Core, this is your whole life. This woman has taken you from us to talk about the plants and this rot and all these things. And I get that you're interested and you want to know what happened with Grandma, and that makes sense. But you just need to be home right now. We've just lost another family member. Drell is gone. Grandma's dead. You need to be here with us, not chasing these druid fantasies again.
They're not fantasies.
We need you here.
Research.
I need you here.
I don't know how she got the information exactly, but I'm assuming she got it straight from the mushrooms. It's not just some fairy tale. And what if we lose more people? This isn't just... we can't just leave it like this.
That seems like a problem for a later date. You're not going out into the world on this crazy adventure all by yourself.
So what?
We need you here.
I'm just supposed to sit here and do nothing?
It would be safer. And we need you.
Do what?
We need our sister again. Our parents need our daughter again.
You're
seriously considering this?
How could I not be considering this? Something happened in that cave. And maybe it's the reason why Grandma's gone. If we can find a way to prevent it, then I have to pursue that. And I can't just sit here and do nothing. I mean, this is what she was preparing me for my whole life. This is my whole purpose. My entire identity as a druid is this. learning about life and death. I don't want anyone else to die or get hurt. I can do something about it. If it was you in this position, you wouldn't just sit here and do nothing. You know you wouldn't.
Then you see it again. And despite it all, despite Anwar's argument, despite your longing to be with your family, the broken eyes of Anwar as she realizes that you're serious about this is what finally finalizes the decision in your mind. You can't stay. You can't keep hurting people.
I love you. You know that.
And then you turn from your sister, set your face away from Morel, and venture out to begin a new chapter, one shrouded in mystery, grandmother's notebook clenched tightly in your hand. Welcome everybody to the Depths of A&R. These origin episodes work a little bit differently. But first, let me introduce ourselves. So my name is Jay/NerdyBirdie, as you probably know me better. And today I am doing an origin episode with Core, aka my sister Megan. If you want to introduce yourself.
His eye.
A fabulous introduction. Alright. Like I said, these origin episodes work a little bit differently. They're shorter, they're more compact, they're more scripted, whereas our normal campaign will be about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere around there, and will be, unscripted. So I hope you enjoyed this first of 4 origin episodes to kind of get to know our characters, get to know where they came from before we get to the campaign proper. We're available on Spotify and YouTube right now, so make sure you share with your friends and leave a like and all that good stuff. But we're just playing, we're having some fun. So, again, thank you very much for listening to this first Origin episode, and I hope you stick around to listen to our future sessions. Any last words there, Meggers?
And I hope you sleep at night tonight.
Well, I don't know what to say to that.